loved Bobby Mercer, but but Bobby Mercer was. I mean, he spent those years with the Cubs after they traded him. Rizzuto
came back in
was
79.
Rizzuto was an announcer for 40 years. I mean, and sorry to say, but Mercer wasn't.
I know, but I'm just saying. I just thought it might
I don't know.
be.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I'll just respectfully disagree.
So, what did the Yankees do? They split the daytime, nighttime doubleheader.
Here's the thing that happened after that. All right, great ceremony. Again, the Yankees doing what the Yankees do so well in terms of retiring a number, and then Masahiro Tanaka just comes out and gets crushed. First batter of the game, George Springer, boom, home run. Second batter, home run, boom, 2-0. Then the Astros load the bases, and Alex Bregman, all right, a young player who wears number 2 because of Derek Jeter, hits a grand slam. And the Yankees were losing 6-0 in the first inning.
He paid his own tribute to
Jeter. Jeter probably wasn't even in his seat yet. All right, because he's down on the field. He's being honored. He's got to bring all of these framed numbers and plaque frames and all of this stuff. He's got to carry this all off the field. He's got an awesome ring too, but he's got to get up to his. He's got his own luxury box, by the way, still. And I guarantee he wasn't even in his seat. And when he came out and he says, "Oh yeah, hey Derek, you're losing 6-0." How does this happen?
Well,
but you know what? You know what was encouraging? The Yankees wound up being down. I think it was 8-0 or 9-0 in this game,
and then they started to come back.
And they lost 10-7, and they actually had the tying run at the plate in the 9th inning. So it's encouraging in some regards because this is a team that doesn't give up. All right, it's a team that has a lot of resolve and a lot of grit, and that has been the hallmark of this season's Yankees team so far. They lost 3 out of 4 to the Astros, which obviously isn't good, but it's encouraging to see that this team, no matter what the deficit, is always going to try to make a rally or try to come back and has gotten back into a lot of games. I mean, they've already overcome, what was it, 7 or 9 run deficit this season? I forget what it was, but I mean, it was ridiculous. But you would think that in terms of, all right, it's Derek Jeter Day, we got to win a game for the captain. Well, they won that first game, but the second game, Tanaka basically gave no chance.
I keep forgetting that Houston's in the American League now. So.
Yeah, they are.
So they're
good.
Good
best record in baseball.
It was Old Timers Day, but just for Derek Jeter. A lot of these people will be back for Old Timers Day. Sometime in July.
And some of them now have new haberdashery. The Monument Park Blazer.
Oh,
you didn't see that because you were listening on the radio.
Right.
They gave them blazers, and on the pocket it says Monument Park. I don't know. It's like Monument Park inductee or something like that, and it's got like a little patch.
Okay.
Which I got to be honest, it's kind of cheesy looking, but. Think of the guys who the only people who own those jackets are guys who have numbers out in Monument Park.
It's like the five-time.
That's a pretty exclusive jacket.
Like the Five-Timer Club on SNL.
Well, it's a little more important than that. But
so okay. So the Yankees split, but it was a good ceremony, and that's what you won. Like I said earlier, Yes is literally running it 24 hours straight over the next 24 hours.
Yeah,
not necessarily 24 hours, but literally. There's a couple of breaks in between, but
as they should. And just to put this out there, and this is non-Jeter related, Aroldis Chapman, the Yankees closer, has been put on the 10-day disabled list. So there is a little other Yankee news besides Derek Jeter. Chapman has rotator cuff tendonitis, and apparently he said that he had this at some point when he was with the Reds a few years ago. But the Yankees have said that they're going to shut him down for probably about 4 weeks. So Chapman's not going to pitch for a month. Manager Joe Girardi said he won't even throw for 2 weeks, and then they'll kind of build him up, and hopefully the tendonitis will be out of there by then, and then they'll build him up and get him back. But Dellin Betances will serve as the closer now for the next month.
Let's get to a sadder story, brother.
Well, what the Mets closer is out for even longer than that, which shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody. The way the season has gone for the Mets this year, so far.
The New York Post had a thing: "Why does God hate the Mets?" on the back cover, And I know a lot of Met fans who are thinking the same way.
You have to start to wonder at some point.
And who was I? Oh, I was listening to another announcer last night at 1 in the morning.
Who's that?
I forgot her name. She was on FAN. And she brought up a good point. She goes, would you rather have a team of hitters, like sort of what the Yankees have right now, or would you like to have the pitching that the Mets supposedly were going to have, but don't really have, or sort of have, or maybe when they're not injured?
Well, that was the National League argument with the Cubs and the Mets. Would you rather have all of these great young hitters that the Cubs have, or would you rather have the rotation that the Mets have? And right now the hitters are winning because the pitchers can't stay healthy.
No.
I mean, if you look at the Mets situation, and we talked about this a little bit last week, Syndergaard is out until the All-Star break.
Yeah.
DeGrom, so far, is healthy, but he had some issues last year.
Matt Harvey is
ineffective at this point, and nobody knows what's going on. And unbeknownst to me last week, because I don't really follow this stuff, but I didn't know he was dating Adriana Lima.
Right.
And apparently that was part of the reason why he was out all night.
He got depressed
on a bender, and because apparently she broke up with him, or
she was seen with her old boyfriend,
Julian Edelman. Why is Adriana Lima dating Julian Edelman? Somebody's got to explain this to me. But then again, she married some guy, Marco Jaric, who's like a backup point guard for I forget who, the Denver Nuggets or whatever. So I don't know why is a supermodel like Adriana Lima dating subpar athletes? I don't get it.
Well, I hope that doesn't mean Matt Harvey's a subpar.
Well, Matt Harvey's like a number 3 starter now.
But Matt, he should wake up and say, you know what? I'm going to show her that I'm a much better pitcher.
He should.
And
prove it.
And start proving that, hey, I'm Matt Harvey again, and I can get another supermodel.
I said this to my brother in the car coming over here. Matt Harvey, if you want to date supermodels, you got to be an ace. Aces date supermodels.
Well,
not number 3 starters.
That's true.
So get it together. Because Matt Harvey got lit up again on Friday.
Yeah,
he came off the 3-game suspension. They gave him a few extra days off to who knows, rest up his arm. I don't know. He struck some guys out. He looked like he had some velocity back, but he gave up 5 runs in 5 innings or 6 runs in 6. I mean, he got the Milwaukee Brewers lit him up. So that's not an acceptable start.
No, and the Mets lost all 3 games this weekend.
Got swept.
It's not a good point right now in the Mets' life, and they're not in a bad situation either. It just seems that they are more than the situation seems worse than it actually is. I guess that's the best
for the Mets.
Yeah,
no, the situation's pretty bad. I'm looking for the standings right now.
They were at 500. Now they're not anymore. They're 16 and 20.
Ouch,
second place.
That's not good.
No, it's not.
16 and 20 is second place.
Yeah, that's how bad the NL East is. You got the Philadelphia, Miami, and Atlanta. Mets are 7.5 out.
7.5. That's the only number you need to look at. Never mind 16 and 20 or especially second place. What a mirage that is. 7.5 games behind the Washington Nationals, who were 24 and 13 and playing .649 baseball.
Yep.
All right, that is a team. In fact, that's the best record in the National League for the Nationals.
Yeah,
the Yankees, on the other hand, I don't know. Oh, that does take into account the second game. 22 and 13, still in first place in the American League East. By the way, my boy Croce, I was telling you about before, the idiot from Boston.
Your friend.
He's already calling for the Red Sox to fire John Farrell. They are 19 and 18. He says, we're not getting the production from the players like we should, and blah, blah, blah. Boston whiners. That's all it is. 37 games of the season, he wants his manager fired.
I don't know.
Idiots.
They're not bad. 19-18 right now is not bad in the AL East.
Well,
seriously, it's not. I mean, it's
19 and 18.
Yeah,
no, 4 games back. I told Croce last week. I said the Red Sox will not catch the Yankees this year. Told him that. Made the prediction.
Well,
and I'm saying it here. I'm guaranteeing the Red Sox will not catch the Yankees this season.
I remember and you keep saying, "Well, you like to pat yourself on the back," but I predict the Yankees do much better than most people thought. So,
well, good. And I've been complimenting you for that.
Except when you were sarcastic with me, saying, "What are you slapping yourself on the back again?"
Well, yeah.
Well, I have to remind you.
Are you going to do that every week?
Almost, yeah. So we're going to take a break right now. You're listening, from the Press Box right here on 90.3 FM, WHPC. And we'll talk, I don't know.
Talk a little Mets, a little NBA draft lottery coming up on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then the closing of a venerable building over in London.
We'll talk about that, too. You're listening to From the Press Box. You have any comments or questions, 516-572-7440.
Think I better dance now.
You take a look, you take a bag, you take a more from there. You have the facts of life, the facts of life.
Hey, touch for the very first time.
The whole world has to answer right now. Just to tell you once again, who's back?
Essential Ladies is back. Join me, Ron Stevens, Saturdays at 10 a.m. for 2 hours of the music, trends, and sounds of the decade of Michael Jackson, Madonna, Pat His Shoulders, and Dynasty. It's the 80s. Take the trip back to the future as we play the classic hits. Essential Ladies. Blast those Walkmans and boombox radios Saturday mornings at 10 on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Attention all Long Island residents. This is an important message. Please stand by.
You looking to learn more about Long Island?
Do you need to be informed about the current issues Long Island is having?
Do you want to learn more about what Long Island has to offer?
Yeah, you do.
Listen to My Hometown, where our student and community volunteer hosts explore clubs, organizations, businesses, and issues affecting Long Islanders like you and me. Listen for weekly interviews that shed light on the Long Island towns that are making a difference.
Covering Long Island head to toe, every inch, every mile.
Tune in every Thursday afternoon at 4 or Sunday evenings at 10 on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Hey, that's my job.
You snooze, you lose.
.3 WHPC. I'm your captain, which they didn't play this version, but they played a version.
A version, yes.
Yesterday for Derek Jeter.
And then, of course, he exited the field of Sinatra, of course, my way.
He is Sinatra in many ways.
Not a bad way to be.
Frank has his quirks. Let's be honest. I've been reading a lot. I have like 4 books on Sinatra at home. And, it's just Ava Gardner really screwed him over.
I'll tell you what. If you're going to trade places, Jeter said he wouldn't trade places with any athlete, but if you're going to trade places with any person in history, Sinatra would be up there.
Yeah,
he'd be like a top 3 kind of guy.
Quirky guy. Let's quickly talk about the Knicks. The draft lottery is Tuesday. The Knicks are at number 7. Will they move up? I don't know. The Knicks are just
wow. That's such a positive commentary you're throwing out there.
I'd be honest with you. If Phil Jackson were to leave tomorrow, I wouldn't care.
What do you mean you wouldn't care? I'd be thrilled if he left tomorrow.
I
was really hoping if Phil Jackson a few weeks ago would say, you know what, James Dolan, this isn't working out. I'm just going to go.
I just don't get.
Would have been thrilled.
This team. I think this team can't do anything until they figure out how to get rid of Carmelo Anthony. And once they get rid of him, they can work on this team.
But the problem is now, for the Knicks to get rid of Carmelo Anthony, they're not going to get a significant return.
But that's why they should have traded him halfway through
They should have traded him last year. They should have traded him the year before. They should have traded him at some point when I've been saying, get rid of the guy.
But, I think there's a lot of politics involved with that, but I think the problem now is you're right. They're going to get nothing for him, and everyone knows that. So you might as well just trade him.
Yeah, but you can't just give the guy. It comes to a point where you can't just give the guy away because you're setting your franchise back.
I think you can't do anything with this franchise until he's gone. That's my problem.
You have to get something of value for him. And right now, all I'm hearing is if he goes to, say, the Boston Celtics, which I'm not even sure the Celtics would make the trade now because
why would
they're on the verge of going to play the Cleveland Cavaliers. And actually, the Celtics are playing a Game 7 tonight for their semifinal series. And the winner of that series against the Wizards will play the Cleveland Cavaliers, who've been waiting for a week now because they won their series 4-0. But that is... will the Celtics want to trade for Carmelo Anthony? And I don't know because they're a very good team already. they are the odds-on favorite to have the number one pick in the draft because the Nets